Um, Good evening, guys. So this is a live analysis on Bitcoin USD. So um we have this resistance level here. So to keep it quick, Bitcoin has been downtrending here. On the macro scale, this is daily time frame. It's been downtrending to the downside. Now we made this lower low, right? The market created a lower high here. This lower high is meant to create a lower low, correct? But now because it's failing to create this lower low, market instead created the what higher low. It was higher than this previous low. Then now market broke above this high, right? Now market breaking above this high is passing a message that alright, these are signs of bullishness for this asset, okay? Now this means that if market is basically trading above these highs, you see some kind of like good buy price action. But now that didn't happen. Instead, market now did what? Market now dumped back into this range, right? Created this was the higher high. This was the new high. It was higher than this high. Now this is a higher low because it's still higher than this low. So that was still confirming bullish. But now what are we seeing here now? This is now equal highs, right? This is equal highs that market now created here. Now this one is saying that, okay, now there's lack of demand to push the prices higher. That's what is happening there basically. Okay, so now everything Bitcoin now dumped from here for a couple of days. All right, so this was the resistance with Bitcoin around 92K, right? Bitcoin dumped from here, and now created what a low. Do you understand? It created a lower low, right? That broke below here. Look at the close below, right? It broke below there. But now on this breakout for formation here, we have this lower high that market created that created another was lower low. So basically it's been bearish, right? From this point, right? That there are sellers offering value at this point for Bitcoin. Basically, like sales are valued below, sales are valued below. But now the issue now is that this one that on this, because this is a daytime frame narrative. Because the truth is that even if it's sales are valued from here, it doesn't mean that it could not just sell right off. Do you understand? It could be that maybe market wants to price in deeper. Let's say on today's next tomorrow's candle, now you see a deeper pricing, then market will still dump. Do you understand? But now that move to the upside right now is more guaranteed for you than um yes, this is like it's bearish here, right? Don't get me wrong, it's bearish from here, all right. But now this is a day's candle that's closing in the next 17 minutes. That's what I'm telling you now. Now, depending on how this candle closes, is going to tell you how this market is going to dominate from here. Because the truth is that this is actually a lower low and a lower high and a lower low, and now markets has actually broken this high that you're seeing here. So now, if this guy is closing above, because this is a sort of resistance, you understand? Market are trying to break. That is weak. Market are trying to break. But now, if it does something like this, then it's very, very, very possible for the market to basically retest around this level and make a upper push. Do you understand? Because this is the daily time frame, alright? A lot of macro drivers that is pushing it. You understand? It doesn't just like reverse. So now let's look at that level and have a deeper look into the price action. Of course, we know that we're having sales below this region. Do you understand? We're having sales below this region. Okay, but now if sales triggered here, right? If sales triggered here, I took some short. If I took some shots here, if sales triggers here, right? Would we can argue that, okay, this sell move, right? This sell move, they got tapped on this move here and it ended here. We can argue that, you understand? So if you check like the 4 hours time frame now, you tend to find out that that thing is switching structures to the upside around that zone. Can you see the consolidation? Right. So now this is not like a stop hunt, and this is giving a breakout because basically in this initial range, yeah, this is the initial range. This was the first part that broke out right to the upside in case they want to go up. So this is basically a stop hunt that happened. The other side is a quick recovery. So now market is basically now retesting around this particular level now, right? To see impulsive pressures to the upside, right? So what basically me I'm saying is that on Bitcoin, right? Looking at Bitcoin currently from this when this candle closes, right? If it's closing above um 87k, we might see Bitcoin actually hit 90k, um 92k. Very, very possible. Probably visit these highs and try to displace higher again. But we have to respect the fact that this is a support zone. All right. So if you are taking buys here alone, from here to here is actually a big move on its own. That's about 160 pips that you're seeing there. Now, not to talk of when you're riding the whole move, because the 4 hour looks pretty decent. You understand? So we're just basically closing above, and once it closes above, we can start seeing buy side pressures to the upside on Bitcoin. Okay, because start seeing buy side pressure on Bitcoin, because this is like the range. This, just like a range. This was like a lower low. You understand? This was a lower low, a lower high. So this lower high was supposed to displace and create a lower low. Do you understand? Instead, what did market created a higher low immediately, and higher low now did what? Tried to create a higher high, broke this high but rejected, so it made the equal high here. So market basically created a lower high here, but then again still creating what, a higher low higher than this one, and displacing now, because automatically this move now, why market didn't break out of here is that it's saying now that the buyers that are buying from this level, they no fit push market far. You understand? So there's lack of demand to push this price higher from here. So market now basically coming back down to come and seek what demand. That's why market is coming back below this level of inducement now, coming to seek where there is demand. So market now has tapped our level of resistance, basically doing a stop on from this range, right? Because for market to start telling you that there's lack of demand to push prices higher, it's saying that, oh, there's already transaction going on, so this is already a range. Okay, this is a range that you're seeing there, right? So now, this is now the indication of the range, because this was the first breakout that we are seeing there. So we're expecting buy side to the upside on uh Bitcoin, right? So following through with the daily close, all right, we can expect this momentum to continue. Okay, we can expect momentum to continue on Bitcoin, probably to clear out this trend line liquidities, all right? Because we know that we are coming from premium. You understand? It's not just a random move. You can see the structures. Do you understand? So this like in this main and this like a continuation. You understand? It's like, do you understand? So yeah. So I hope it makes sense. Good luck, guys.